The moment I realized that I am a next to nothing, that I'm almost entirely unimportant, was one of the best days of my life. It led to a whole string of discoveries that were fantastic. It led to me recognizing a few months later that I really don't know anything. There's nothing at all that I actually know for sure. When I got to the point where I realized that I didn't know anything, then a whole lot of thoughts started to appear. Let's not assign importance to those thoughts because that would be counterproductive. So here's what I've been wanting to share with you. It's not about me, but rather about what you can do if you choose to do it. It's not bad or wrong if you don't choose to do it. It's not better to choose to do it. It's not worse to not choose to do it. It's just something that a person can opt for if they want. The benefits are gigantic, but it doesn't mean that it's a better way to live. It contributes to healthy things, really helpful things, and an ability to help friends and maybe even family members, though that's more difficult sometimes. So I would like to share with you what I discovered. It's not me, and these are not my ideas. What I'm going to share with you are not my ideas. They are not my belief system. I basically threw my belief system, not basically, I threw my belief system away. I threw my belief system away. And why did I do it? That is another story. But if you study the Bible, that has something to do with it. In fact, it is exactly what did it. Studying the Bible allowed me to throw away some remaining beliefs I had that were human beliefs rather than divine beliefs. I gradually realized I don't have any divine understanding. I don't. Not now, not then. My ideas are tiny. They're pipsqueak ideas. They're minuscule. They're less than an atom compared to ideas of God. People say God's truth. Well, God knows God's truth. I don't know God's truth. I don't know any of God's truths. This was a kind of breakthrough openness that allowed me to realize first that God actually exists. I was raised atheist. But let's move away from my experience to what you can do. It's relatively simple. Here you go. First, number one, practicality. Whatever gets in the way of practicality, that is, making life better, is out. It's just out. Making life better includes making other people's, or at least contributing to other people's lives, contributing to one's own life and other people's lives in an all-out fashion to help both self and others and not harm anyone. So that's practicality. Then there's joy. Getting to peace doesn't happen without joy. In fact, joy is our bridge because of a certain someone who lived 2,000 years ago to love. I have no problem saying the name of that someone. That someone is known today as either Yeshua, Jesus, the Christ, and so forth. He had really good ideas. I decided to follow the commands. It really wasn't a big deal. I just threw out any idea in my head or changed it that interfered with the feeling of love. That's how love happened. Took a while to figure it out, but it happened. So, what you can do is you can be practical in the sense that you are focused on helping not only others, but also yourself, and not harming anybody. If something happens that you do that is not so neat as a result, well, badgering yourself about it is not going to bring you toward love. So, in other words, badgering oneself is out. Failure to critique oneself is also out, because that doesn't work either. That's not practical either. And so practicality gets us to the ability to have joy and working at it in a way that harms no one and helps. That brings us to really strong, flat out, pedal to the metal love. And the love then takes us further. The love then takes us to peace. It's been said a bunch of times, and I can't agree more, that there's no way to peace, even say for a Buddhist, without Jesus. I've got a lot more to say about that, because every interpretation that I've heard about that statement is not what I mean. In fact, every interpretation that I initially hear about these statements I'm making now, about each one of these statements, every single interpretation is not what I mean. I do not mean any interpretation anybody has given so far. That doesn't make the interpretations bad or wrong. It just means that they're not what I'm saying. The very idea of bad and wrong, well, that's kind of about half of the problem. The other half of the problem is human certainty. Human certainty combined with pain, and pain comes from ideas of bad and wrong. I did the wrong thing. I'm bad. They're bad. And so that hurts me. The world is bad. Or even, cursing out God, that kind of thing. So basically any idea, whatever your background might be. I mean, my background was atheist. By overcoming every idea, I mean, I really wasn't overcoming it. I was just getting my resistance out of the way. I want to make that really clear. And what was my resistance? Well, it really wasn't my resistance. It was a resistance of thoughts. There were resistant thoughts in my noggin, and they kept me from peace and joy and love and tenderness. And those things are incomparable. I mean, there's no way to compare it. So, if you would like to have more joy, move toward joy almost all the time, practically, so that you're doing practical things, going to work, helping kids, and so forth, raising a family, connecting with people, doing research, doing art, running a business, trying to run a country, whatever it is you might be doing, well, the more that you move ideas that conflict with love into either the trash bin or to change them, the more that you get rid of these ideas, opting for ideas that don't interfere with love, well, the more you move into harmony inside. And then voila, peace. That's the quick and short of it. I'll see you in the next video.